So I'm going to show you how to use your handheld calculator to check your answer for your perpendicular bisector intersection. And again, just like if you're using Desmos, using a handheld calculator, that's awesome. Use it to check, but you do need to do the work yourself initially as well in writing. So I'm going to start with my clear calculator, and I'm going to click on y equals, and I'm going to enter both equations. So I'm going to start with 1/2 x and I'm going to do 2x minus 1. And then I'm going to hit graph, and my lines appear. Wonderful. If I want to know where those two intersect, I can zoom in and kind of eyeball it, and yeah, it sure looks like it's about 2/3, 1/3. Great. I can also hit trace and literally trace along that line. I can also type in what I want x to equal, 2/3. And it'll go there and be like, yep, at 2/3, y1 and y2 are both 1/3. Wonderful. If I'm not sure, I can also hit second calculate, and I want to choose intersection. And it will calculate it for me. I have to put on my left boundary, so I'm going to say my left boundary is right about here. My right boundary is right about here. Sometimes it will ask you to guess. You can literally just hit enter, it's fine. And then it tells me my intersection is at 0.1, which is at 0.6 repeating, which we know is 2/3, and 0.3 repeating, which we know is 1/3. So I know my answer is correct. Again, I'll run through that one more time. This time I will use the second example. So my goal is that I'm at -314. Actually, I'm going to choose one that I don't have to change my window. It would work the same, but this way you can see it. And most of your example problems will be on this auto window that comes up to like that 10 or 2020. So I'm going to use these equations. I'm going to go back to y equals, and I'm going to change these. So I'm going to hit clear, and I want y to equal -1/3. I'm going to do that in parentheses, -1/3, close that parenthesis, times x plus 2/3. And my second equation will be -2x plus 9, and I'm going to be really careful that I'm using the negative on my calculator and not the minus sign. When I go to graph, my graphs will appear. And again, I could trace and just kind of eyeball it. I could type in what I want my x value to be and have it spit there. But if I'm not sure, I can hit second calc, which is above the trace button, choose 5, and then I need to input my left boundary and my right boundary. And your calculator may ask you to make a guess. Just hit enter, and it'll come up with, hey, the intersection there is at 0.1, which is 5, -1.